Hey YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching this. I really do appreciate it. Today I'm not gonna feature any sealed information or relay any sealed information that I attended the past weekend that just went by really fast until I finish this video and you become informed with all the great information I'm going to give you for limited. I'm talking about some ridiculous cards that you should absolutely not pass on in a limited format. The first couple cards that I will be talking about that are absolutely nuts together, I'm talking just bananas, is Sacred Wolf and Spirit Mantle. Sacred Wolf and Spirit Mantle? Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this. Look at these two cards. Look at this. You got Sacred Wolf, a hexproof 3 dropped that you can possibly get at turn 2 with a Landlord Elf. God forbid that you don't get that somebody doesn't pass you one. But God forbid somebody pass you like a dozen of these. Like in a draft on Saturday, I was drafting next to a friend, and my lord, I was drafting next to a friend, but we were next like at 2 separate pods. But my lord, he was past 3 pacifisms and 3 O-rings, and he passed an O-ring because he didn't want a 4th one. Now, who in the world passes 4 O-rings and 3 pacifisms? Whoever does that needs to be slapped across the face. It's just absolutely nuts. I mean, these 2 cards right here are the first 2 cards that I have to mention, because this card is, while this card is great, this card just brings out the juice. It just puts this guy on steroids. It's just, you like tap for 5 and do nothing for the rest of the game until you can deal with the Spirit Mantle. And even when you can deal with the Spirit Mantle, the one thing I could not believe that they decided to reprint, that they decided to just go ahead and say, hey, let's make this card right here, Reclaim, nuts. It's like, oh, I got a Day of Judgment, might as well have 2, just in case you counter them. Oh, I have a Spirit Mantle, but you might get rid of it, so I have a Reclaim. I mean, they have Fireball and Consume Spirit in the same set. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna draft Lava Axes and Incinerates and Shocks and Consume Spirit you to death and Fireball you to death. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, you can build the most retarded deck and still win. It's just like, oh my god. But anyways, so those are a couple cards. The next card I'm actually going to be talking about is this card right here. That's just nuts. I'm just going to say nuts all the time because these cards are just ridiculous. Let's say my next favorite card actually would have to be this in limited. This card is absolutely nuts in limited. Stormblood Berserker, my lord. Stormblood Berserker, basically a potential 3-drop, 2-drop for 3/3 that can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, but that's not even the tip of the iceberg. I mean, Frost Breath. Are you kidding me? Frost Breath, unlimited, a common, a sleep for 3 mana at instant speed that taps 2 dudes, and they don't tap until the following turn. It's just absolutely ridiculous. If you need to out tempo them on creatures and beat in for more damage when you're behind, that is crazy. And when you're a control deck, that's just nuts. Chasm Drake, when it attacks, it gives another dude flying. It's like, oh, I have this Storm type Berserker, but I need to do 6 damage. I guess I'll attack with these 2 and get this dude flying. It's just Chasm Drake is just an awesome 4-drop fly as a 3/3. But regardless of it being a 4-drop 3/3, it has an ability to give another dude flying. It's like flight on a stick. It's basically flight on a stick. It's like, oh, I tap my guy to attack and give fight to somebody else. It's just absolutely nuts, that card right there. Chasm Drake. Don't forget about that in limited right now. Okay, and then the next card, as I'm really just looking through all this, that I absolutely love to death. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, probably don't have it in here because I took out a lot of my stuff. Let's see. Actually, it's a very, very old card. It's basically an uncommon. This dude right here used to be a rare, and he's an uncommon. This is freaking unbelievable. It's basically another Sarah Angel, but on a vampire that gets counters when it's dealt damage. Absolutely nuts. They reprinted this card, and then limited as an uncommon. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's just like, it's basically retarded. It's just, it can win on its own pretty much. I mean, that card is ridiculous. I mean, but my favorite card that's probably underappreciated right now is Gideon's Lawkeeper. Gideon's Lawkeeper that taps a dude. But I guess it's underestimated because of the fact that it's a 1/1 that can be easily removed by, as there's a lot of disruption. And there's Crown. Crown is, I don't have the card, but Crown is just really ridiculous. I've seen somebody play all three of the scepters and crowns and stuff like that. I was like, oh my god, it's just how in the world are you able to get that off with like naturalized, you know, and what other removals are there? Just I didn't look at the set, but I know there's has to be other stuff besides naturalized. Well, there's Oblivion Ring and naturalized. That's the next card I want to talk about, is Oblivion Ring. As an uncommon and limited, it just kills planeswalkers off. I mean, if they can't deal with the enchantments, if they have no way to deal with the enchantments, it just shuts off planeswalkers. But as an underappreciated common, that card can be nuts, especially when you're trying to go control and hold off the aggro decks. You know, that card is an absolutely must pick in limited. If you can't find anything, you know, better than it, that late to mid pick is actually really good. But the next card, probably the final card, because I can't find a lot of cards in here that I absolutely detest, is this card. Oh my god. It's a Looming Shade on a dude right here. It's a 4-drop, 1/1 flyer, but the fact that you can pay 1 swamp to pump it up, you know, it's just a +1/+1 counter. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, you basically play this turn 4, and then turn 5 you attack for 6. That's actually, no, yeah, you attack for 6. Was it 5, 4, 5? Yeah, 6 basically flying. It's a 6/6 flyer potentially lethal on turn 5. This is absolutely ridiculous. This card right here is a Lumen Shaman on a flyer. It's a Lumen Shaman. No, it's a Lumen Shade on a flyer basically. That's just a Lumen Shade on a flyer is just absolutely ridiculous, you know. And then that card, common, and then limited. That's absolutely really good card to pick. I'm not saying it's not quite a first pick, but that is definitely a mid pick right there. This card, the Drifting Shade, is just absolutely nuts. I would pick that. But the card I hate the most, and probably is not very, is this rare right here, Flameburst Dragon. Flameburst Dragon is just nuts. It just rapes people and goes to town on their asses. It's just basically a fireball on a dude that hits creatures or players and I'm surprised that, I'm actually happy that it doesn't have actually have the fireball ability where you can choose pay 1 and choose multiple targets beyond the first one. That would be nuts, but this is still nuts. The fact that you can fireball as you attack and deal damage. No, as he attacks, when he attacks, you can do, this is, oh my god. I had this in play and still lost because I kept getting attacked, but, you know, that's why this guy's so good, because he can tap dragons. But the Rune Scar Demon as a bomb is just absolutely ridiculous. It gets your other bombs, it gets late finishers, it's just really crazy. But that's all for today, and if you would like more information on drafting or on my trades, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later.